Here it is, 13 secrets to rapidly re-engineer your external environment so you can win the internal war with your subconscious reluctance and take control of your outcome. How can we raise the statistic from 10% of people actually achieve the goals that are set closer to 50%? This is what we're trying to do here, okay? And if you're gonna do that, like we talked about, you have to learn how to re-engineer your external environment. And what's tough for us is everyone has a home, right? We all go home from this. If you could just stay in this environment all the time, how much more successful would you be? Give a couple days to go and execute some stuff, but come back again and like this. We're not in this environment at home. We have our own external environments at home. We have friends at home, family. We have routines. We watch Netflix with our spouse at night while we're looking at our phones, drinking wine, even though we're not watching TV. Like we have our own environments that we live in. So here's a great quote I want you to think about. This is from one of my favorite books, Willpower Doesn't Work by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. And he says, who you are and what you do is constrained by the people around you and the quality of information you consume. Some of you, this may be a little slap in the face or kind of a wake-up call, and that's good. And the good news is you can mindfully and consciously change your external environment. That's what we're gonna go into right now because we're gonna beat this enemy. And I'm gonna give you the blueprint to do it. You guys want this? I want you to accept this fact to be truth right now. You're not strong enough to do it alone. You have to accept that. You have to internalize that and understand that none of us were born with the strength needed to be game-changing leaders in this world and make a huge difference. Our ambitions, our goals, our aspirations, our why, just like we talked about, none of these are strong enough. And you're not strong enough to do this alone. You gotta understand that. If you believe you're strong enough and you got a chip on your shoulder and the world owes you everything and you're entitled and you're letting your past haunt you, this is gonna be tough, but you gotta be able to accept it, right? I'm not strong enough alone. Number two, you have to have an unwavering desire to change your external environment. If you don't want it, if you don't say, yes, I see it, I do see where my environment is taking me, I do see that my environment is not the perfect environment for me to be able to succeed and achieve my goals, you have to want it. I can't want it for you. And this is gonna take a lot of time and persistence, a lot of self-awareness, a lot of introspection. You're gonna have to keep score and pay attention to that and review it and reflect and think about what could I have done differently to see a different result. You have to want it though, okay? Number three, you're gonna have to make some hard decisions. This is the tough part. You have to let some people go from your life. Some people are holding you back. They say you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with and the sum of the 5 people they spend the most time with. This is your external environment. When you go home, are you around people that are gonna get you ready to succeed? Are they gonna be in your corner? Are they gonna be your advocate? Are they gonna challenge you? Are they gonna feed you the energy and the motivation you need? Are they gonna be somebody who's wanting you to succeed? Maybe, maybe not, but gotta make some hard decisions. Number 4, be in close and constant proximity to the right people. Just like coming to this room. That's a picture from yesterday. Some of you may be in that picture. You gotta be in the right rooms. I mean, it's powerful. You get around the right people, it's absolutely crazy. So my good friend Patrick, business partner, Patrick's in the room somewhere. There he is. He came and spent 3-4 days with me in Alabama, and I said, what was the biggest thing you took away from our time together? And it was kind of a weird question to ask your friend. And he said, well, the biggest thing I took away is I've got to make it more of a focus to be intentional and come and be around the right people. Because he said, when I'm by myself, I'm in my own head. When I'm around people who are just my students, I never have the conversations that challenge me. I don't have anybody helping me get to the next level. And that was the big impact. Like just being with somebody, being with the right people makes the world of difference, right? Here's a great quote. Getting around the right people and learning the right things can change and alter your external environment, which will change your values, which will change your actions. That can change your outcome. Very powerful stuff. Hang out with the people you want to be in 10 years. And this is a big deal, not just on Zoom. But let's talk about Zoom. Zoom's literally killing human connection. There's studies going on about this. They actually say that the suicide rate, they're actually seeing that Zoom may actually play a part into that. They're saying that loneliness ages you faster than smoking. It's some scary stuff. Patrick taught me that. He was at a health conference in South Florida, and he learned that, and how people are now in this world where they're collaborating online and virtually to the point where they're not having as much human interaction, which quite a few things physically start to change in our bodies, as well as we start to get lonely and we start to miss the human connection. Like Zoom is literally killing it for me. You have to get around people, and that takes me to number 5. I think attending in-person events frequently and experience that human-to-human connection is absolutely vital. It is. I remember we had an office downtown. We moved around a couple times, and I remember the whole routine of driving to work, talking to mom on the phone or dad before he passed away. I was talking to him on the way home. I had my commute. I got my 3 or 4 minute walk in, got my steps in. I got to collaborate. In the middle of a thing, we could be spontaneous, and I could go and take my buddy to lunch, and we could whiteboard and get Jimmy John's, and we had this. It was so amazing until it's gone. And then it's gone, and then you miss it. And all of a sudden we're working remotely. And I moved out to the lake house, and Really, I just have me and my wife and my kids, and sometimes I get to go see Mom or Rob, but I miss it so much. I've got Jared who lives down the street from me, thank God, but I feel like, man, where is this? And if I wasn't as blessed as I am to be a part of maybe 10 to 15 events a year, I host a lot of events, and part of it, Carl and I and Patrick and I, we have all these events. Like, if I didn't have that human interaction consistently, I don't think I'd have any momentum in my life, because I think events create momentum. You have the ability to get around the right people, and then you're able to take that home with you. And it's not gonna last you forever. It's like recharging your battery. It may give you another 60 days of just amazing motivation, but it won't last forever. So you gotta consistently recharge that battery. And I think you have to stop and take a few days and not just be a passenger in your own life.